Yes, guys. So it's Brandon Merry here, also known as the IBD Coach. If you didn't see my first video or my shorts, go check them out. Subscribe. This is my IBD journey and why this channel exists. So 7 years ago, I couldn't train properly. I noticed something wasn't quite right. I was exhausted, I was in pain, I was running to the toilet multiple times. I was a personal trainer, ate good food, looked after my body. That's when I knew something wasn't quite right. So, this is my IBD journey, what it did to me physically, mentally, and why I'm starting this channel. Well, where do I start? It's been a long journey, to say the least, and anyone going through the same problems will know exactly what I mean. I'm not expecting any sympathy. I'm just here to help people. So where did it all start? So my first symptoms when I was around 17, 18 years old, I was training people on a daily basis. I had a stress-free life, really. Still living at home with my parents. And yeah, I was training every day, feeling good. Training people, training others. Knew nothing about it. Never heard of the thing. Until I started noticing I was going to the toilet a bit more often. It was getting worse every day, and it slowly built up to seeing traces of blood in my stools, and I noticed that was not normal. Didn't know whether it was just where I was drinking too much alcohol over the weekends, clubbing on a Friday night, or I ate something dodgy. But then this kept going on for weeks. I kept it to myself, and I probably shouldn't have, until I noticed as soon as I was eating, I had to run to the toilet. And then a few weeks later, it was getting worse and worse. The blood was getting more persistent. It was changing colour. It was getting bright red. And then it was just blood. Then I was hunched over for a long period of time. And at the dinner table, my parents knew something wasn't quite right. I was getting more pale. So I ended up being forced to A&E after about a month of these symptoms, and I had loads of tests. I ended up staying in the hospital that time for around 2 to 3 weeks. They didn't really know what the diagnosis was at the time. They thought maybe it was a hiatus hernia, which then came up in the camera. I had one 2 centimeters, and maybe they thought that's why I was getting these symptoms. Started me on these tablets, didn't work. I was back in again. Had more tests, more scans, more in-depth sort of thing, and it later showed up that it was ulcerative colitis. They always ask you, do you have anyone in the family that have IBD? At the time I didn't know what IBD was, and yes, the answer is yes. My dad's side, all their guts are awful. My close cousin Rob, he's got ulcerative colitis, had it double the amount of time as me, and has helped me throughout. Sadly, I ended up on some more drugs called Octaza and a hell of a load of steroids after being on a drip for a while and being put through the usual routes. So I managed to maintain it fairly well for quite a while. I was training through it. I was young, I was stupid, I was still drinking like crazy, having fun, just being a usual teenager. And then the flare come back, and they obviously trialled me on some new drugs. They introduced something called immunosuppressants, and from then, that's when everything, looking back now, went downhill. So, immunosuppressants are what they sound like. They do attack your immunity, and it comes with a whole lot of side effects, which sadly, I got one of them. So, I think the first one I tried was infliximab, and it was one of the best things I could have tried. I was stable for a good 2 years, and then I was going on loads of nice holidays, just eating more healthy than I was, even though I was training all the time anyway. I always wanted to keep a good physique, and I was able to train through it at the time, weren't thinking too much of it. And then I come back from a holiday and my stomach started to be real bad again, and my family noticed that I had a sort of mole sort of thing on my arm, and I got that checked out, and it come back cancerous, and it was a melanoma. That's another story. That I had to have my lymph nodes removed, and obviously to see if the cancer had spread. Luckily it hadn't. Now I've got to have regular dermatology appointments, and sadly it got infected, but we won't go all into that. No one cares. And basically they thought it was from the drug infliximab. This is one of the side effects, skin related issues. So the only drug that was working, they took me off it straight away. Ever since then, I have trial drugs for the past 4 or 5 years. Mirikizumab, adalimumab, all these funny names, and nothing was quite working. So by then, over the past few years, long story short, I was having severe flares, energy loss, my body was changing, I was getting weaker, I was starting to get a fear of going out all the time. I was struggling to even get up to go to work sometimes. I've missed a lot of days off. I started training less. I was getting dizzy, headaches. The list goes on, and you guys will understand. So yeah, I ended up 4 months ago being forced into having a stoma bag. I was putting it off for many years. There was a little bit of chat about it, but then they would come up with a new drug that I could try. The drugs usually take 12 weeks onwards to even see a change, and sometimes I didn't see a change even one bit, which is the frustrating part. I love training, I love looking after my body, and it was going up and down, up and down. I was getting to peak performance, training for events at the time when I was younger, playing football, and yeah, this was bashing my confidence left, right, and centre. And so I ended up having the surgery 4 months ago. I'm still on the road to recovery. I had emergency surgery. I didn't really have any more drugs to trial, and I thought, here we go. It's the end of my life, really. I don't think I was going to be able to train people ever again. And certainly coming out of surgery, the first week was hell. It was absolute hell. And it was tricky. They get you up on your feet in the first couple of days. And doing that has saved me and got me to this point. At the time, you're thinking, you bastards. But looking back now, how I am feeling this well just 4 months ago is incredible. I was so ill, and I am certainly seeing the benefits now. And it is crazy. Obviously, it comes with a whole lot of different complications, a whole lot of new embarrassments, leaks. Your bag could blow up. You could forget your little things that you have to take. But I wouldn't take it back. And if the hospital said to me 7 years ago, knowing what I've been through, because it has been seriously hard, and it's been a whole lot of ups and downs, more downs than ups. If I had the chance to have this surgery now, If I knew 7 years ago, I would say yes in a flash. It is one of the hardest things, and just the mental side of things is what absolutely killed me. Especially last year in the build up, I was getting worse. I knew I was running out of drugs, running out of things to do. Couldn't see my mates, couldn't go on holidays, had to cancel plans. It's the worst thing being young. Coming out of COVID, missed a couple years there. So over the past few years, it has not been good for me and my partner. But it's taught me a lot of things in life, especially even in my training side of things. Not for just for me, but to help other people. When you're younger, all you want to do is look good. You look at everyone on social media, you see the big people, and you think, I just want to be absolutely massive. I want to be ripped up. Yeah, it's good. Is it healthy? Probably not, quite a lot of the time. And now you take everything for granted, and your health is so important, and it comes in front of everything. And you realise now that you can't out train inflammation, but you can train a lot smarter. And just before I went into surgery, over the past year or so, I created this system, which you'll see in the next video. And it did help me slightly, but I was opting out by then, and I was ready to start my new life. It is like a new life, and you notice recovery, that really matters. Sleep is one of the most important things you can have. Don't ego train, as that can backfire, and gut health is performance. And these are just a few things that I've learned, and you're going to be taught exactly what I've learned along the way. And hopefully you can all grab something from this channel, even if you haven't got IBD. Like I said in the last video, this is for busy professionals who want to lose weight, maybe want to concentrate on their gut health a bit more, and try and just build a bit more structure and actually see results. So this is for people who are lost, who want to share stories, who need someone to talk to. I'm going to try and really dig deep on why IBD is getting more and more common. Just in this year alone, it's supposed to rise 25,000 just in the UK, more cases, and that is not right. Why this is happening, I don't know. They say something called international bacteria, or having antibiotics as a young child. I don't know if I did or not. Maybe I did. Or it's hereditary. It is in my family line, but who knows? This didn't happen 20 years ago. Or maybe it did happen 20 years ago and they didn't have the resources that they have now. So maybe people were dying. But the amount of studies that go in to the colon and the gut health now is incredible. Bringing out new drugs. Hopefully there's more drugs out there that come out and will stop you from having to have surgery, like myself, having to rebuild yourself, having to pack everything in, and hopefully be able to maintain something. I think this is something that can get sorted. Just want to say a massive thank you to all the consultants, doctors, nurses that all helped me throughout my journey, and now it's my turn to repay the people and to help you guys to stay consistent with your training, to train safely. I am a personal trainer. I do know what I'm doing. Don't worry. And what better is it to hear these sort of things from someone that has gone through it all. I've picked myself up countless times, and I've kept a good physique throughout until my surgery, and I can guarantee I will get that physique back. I will train healthily, and I want to prove to everyone that you can carry on training with a stoma, with an ileostomy, which is what I have, and just to not give up. So if you're dealing with IBD, or you're trying to train while managing something people don't see, an invisible illness, get involved. Like, subscribe, save this video, check out the new videos coming out. There's so much that we are going to cover. I'm going to help so many people. And don't forget to be merry. Good luck.